All right, can you hear me? All right, here we go. Dad Random here for some quick thoughts. We have some, I don't call it Dad breaking news. It's not good news if you're a Mavic 3 owner. And what I want to do is kind of go over just quickly what the new information, and that information has to do with the recent blacklisting of the DJI product by the United States government. So what does that mean? What are some of the facts? And I've got a few of those facts, and I've got two websites I want to show you. One is a commercial drone website, which I think covers what we need to see. So I will reference those. The first of the two sites is the Financial Times. I saw this morning, early last night, and it was like 26 minutes, and with the DJI product line and other Chinese interests have been brought into what they call a entity list. So Kai Friedrichsen brought this up a long time ago. We had a lot of discussions about the entity list and the eventual basically placement of DJI onto the entity list. And the entity lists are just things, basically we're punishing China because for political reasons. And that's really what it gets down to. But barring that discussion, which I really don't want to have, how does it affect me? And that's really where it goes. So if I have a Mavic 3, so first thing I'm thinking of is, hey, is it going to fly? So we've got some issues there. Yes, it will fly, but we're starting to look at updates and upgrades and firmware issues. That's the one that really is going to get us. And there was a lot of push by DJI to put out a lot of product just recently, and that was a red flag. They put out products that weren't ready. They put out products that had flaws. So that's kind of where we're going to go. We're going to look at that real quick. And now I expect people to be seeing this recorded. So, all right, so here we go. Let's go to my display capture. This was one of the articles. Now this one just says U.S. to blacklist 8 more Chinese companies, including drone maker DJI. That is a big deal. And they don't even have a new drone on there. They got an old one on there. So this is the Financial Times, and this was the news update that came out. And yes, it will have an effect on us. I would say the biggest thing, let's just put it out there, is supply. I don't have a lot of time to discuss this with you because I'm still at work, so I'm just doing a real quick update. So supply is going to be the issue. Getting things for your Mavic 3 or your Mavic 2S or your Mavic Mini. There's supplies in country, so there's a lot of stuff around. There's things that haven't been sold yet, but it's going to get to the point where you're going to need to probably maybe pay more. So let's look at some of those things. Now this article here. And this, like I said, I'm giving credit for Drone Analyst. The Drone Analyst is basically put together his insights and research for the commercial drone industry. And they actually wrote out a really good op-eds for you to look through. First of all, it says the U.S. government has taken several actions to support domestic U.S. manufacturers of drones. Okay, so yeah, this will affect that. Now, how it will affect companies like Autel, and you saw my thumbnail. Autel, make note, take advantage of this opportunity. Get your product out there because you're not on the list. Okay, why is DJI on the entity list? Well, they're being picked on, and they're the biggest dog in the pack. So. It says it's not a broad ban on DJI products, meaning it's not everything. It says, well, addition to this list will seriously hamper DJI's regular business operations. It is not a broad ban on DJI products. Instead, the list and related sanctions are made to limit exports, re-exports and transfers of these companies, not the purchases of listed company products. Okay, so this is a really helpful ad. I'm going to actually, I will put this. I'm going to actually put this ad link for you guys. Here, I think I'll make sure it's in the description, so everybody has a copy of this one. Essentially, will limit DJI's abilities to procure U.S.-made technology, okay, like chips and things, and components, and its products rely on. While DJI does not disclose a list of its suppliers, we believe these areas are where U.S. technology is being used in DJI products. And here's a list. Various DJI cloud services, such as their websites, backed app storage systems, SkyPixel, FlightHub, and other Amazon Web Services. So Amazon, it's a DJI's, here's a HAL 900 Zigzag Ground Zero. DJI, it's time. We have a talk. Focus on your current line of drones. Build larger batteries for you. Yes, hey, good information. Hey, bring the heat, okay? Smart battery, BMS, potentially all products tested that include Texas Instruments, okay? TI is very, very instrumental. A lot of people don't know that a lot of the chip manufacturers exist in, i.e. Tejas, okay? Vision chips, potentially all consumer products, Intel and Umbrella, so that's the chips that basically run the vision systems. Legacy thermal imaging cameras, is that also all the Zemus product lines, the Mavic 2 Enterprise uses, the FLIR systems, mobile app ability, so all DJI mobile apps, Apple App Store, Google, Amazon Play Store app availability. So the problem is getting updates to your DJI product. Now, you'll probably have to go to a website and flash firmware. That's my guess at this point. But I would take advantage of anything you can at this point. Probably don't panic. But these are the things that, that are going to be to make things go from bad to worse. The biggest thing is supply. Things like batteries. And I suggest you get your extra battery soon. I don't know if there's going to be because there's not a ton of Mavic 3s being sold anyway because of this possible entity issue. So I just thought that everybody look at this article. It's very detailed. So down below it says DJI customers should be particularly worried about the impact on DJI's cloud services and smart battery management systems. Okay. The BMS is critical to maximizing flight time and safe landings. If a new BMS supplier is improperly integrated, future DJI drones would be more likely to fall out of the sky due to these rules. On the cloud services side, if DJI were to quickly move to another supplier, this could have implications on how customers' drone data is stored and potentially moved overseas. So you've got all these issues. DJI will not be severely impacted by these limitations to procurement. So here we go. This is a speculation, though. This is by a writer. So you have a Skydio 2 instead. No, I don't have a Skydio 2. Skydio needs to up their game and move forward, just like Autel. Guys, the DJI product is still the best, and that's the difficult part. Let's see. So as they are likely to have been moving their supply chain to Chinese suppliers in anticipation of being added to the list, so DJI knew this was coming. This made clear by DJI's introduction of its Mavic 3 Enterprise Advanced drone just before being added to the list, which moved their current generation of thermal imaging drones away from FLIR and to presumably a Chinese version. So that's probably going to happen. I'm just going to say, big corporations know how to think forward. So DJI knew this was possibly coming for quite a long time. So they're not surprised. And what we need to do is roll with the punches. And that's really what we're going to be doing, is punched back and forth for a while. Why is DJI on the list? Well, there you go. You want to talk about, well, they're getting punished. And that's usually what happens. And when governments fight amongst each other, They're also looking at national security issues. Okay, and the sensors on the Mavic 3, for example, are very sophisticated, and it just gives one the lack of security feel that the federal government has. I'm sure they've torn one of these apart and have an important reason to put them on the list. It says many of the drone industry suspected cybersecurity concerns. Boom, that was the big one. Okay. Going back up here, it says stock of DJI products becoming an issue in the middle of 2021. That would be an issue if you are in the emergency services. A lot of emergency services are moving to Autel, but Autel is not a completely American product either. A lot of the parts and manufacturing goes on in China, so you've got that issue. So mostly it's parts. So if the company is procuring their parts from American sources and producing them or having them constructed in China, I think that's still kind of game. So this is where you get into and this is the human rights abuse issues. You've got the Olympics coming up. They want to put pressure on the Chinese government. This is in Bloomberg Business Week. They detailed a piece right there. So there's some really good links in here. So I suggest you check this out, like with a little bit more, with a really good filter. And you can click on any of these links, and that will be very helpful. I have yet to go over this link more than just for a few minutes. I just haven't had time because I do have a day job. Exporting items to aid repressive regimes around the world. So it's, the use of your devices, and they're being used to target maybe friendlies, friendly forces. DJI drones are used everywhere, guys. They are very capable. The United States has previously gone after Chinese firms who have sold U.S. technology or components to Iran. While we haven't seen claims that DJI products have similarly gone directly against U.S. sanctions, there is a large amount of reporting around that the usage of DJI products for illicit purposes by non-state or anti-American actors, including ISIS, ISIL, and other groups. It's how they're being used. So, like I said, DJI is being punished for being big. Does DJI condone the activity? Any big company, you can't, like Toyota. Let's just use that as an example. Just think of all the Toyota trucks that are used in the Middle East and mounted with 50 caliber machine guns. Does Toyota get blamed for that? Just because you can mount a machine gun in a Toyota? I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not really trying to be political. I'm just trying to bring up some, hey, how you doing, Lone Star? Just jumping on really quick. I got to get on and off, make sure I'm in and out. But this is the article that I found, and I suggest everybody checks out. Okay, DJI is attempted to deliver. So the biggest thing, guys, is supply and updates. That's it. That's the big one. Supply of things that are addition to the issues of, say you had to replace a camera, that would be difficult. It might have to be replaced with a camera with a different sensor from a Chinese source. Now you're looking at, crossing different aisles, but knowing DJI being $1 billion corporation, they're probably going to be able to deal with that. It says, lastly, we come full circle. DJI supply chain. DJI has previously used FLIR thermal sensors with high frame rates versions. These versions being exported and controlled under international traffic and arms regulations due to their potential military applications. Duh. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, your thermal sensors. Just anything that's being used in, if we're aiding and embedding, or aiding and abetting, not embedding, that's what the position is how we can control that, or could prevent the aiding and abetting of a I don't know, you call it an entity, you call them entities, or a bad guy, a bad dude. Okay, I think I got through most of it. So DJI's first statement about being added to the entity list. So this is their reply. DJI is disappointed in the U.S. Department of Commerce's decision, customers in America continue to buy and use DJI products normally. Thank you. DJI remains committed to developing the industry's most innovative products that define our company and benefit the world. DJI's statement on being added to the U.S. entity list, they're basically saying, we're going to be fine. So when will DJI be taken off the list? Who knows? Because that is speculation. It says this action began under the Trump administration, and it did. We're not going to get political here. But there were things happening already. We had sanctions going on. But President Biden is going to be probably more proactive when it comes to the human rights issue. I think both presidents were dealing with that issue, but one is going to be a little more overt than the other. It says the Biden's administration will move to undo his action by Trump. We do not believe this is so simple. So, I don't care who did it. I really don't. I'm thinking that any president the direction is to make American companies follow suit. And if we're basically a country that is based in the idea of freedom and human rights, anyway, we'll go there some other time, maybe never. Guys, COVID-19 has made it even more difficult. The U.S. market is only their third largest market. Yes. So to say that the significance, it's still a third. A third of a lot is a lot. So the U.S. market is not relevant. I don't agree with that. The U.S. market is very relevant to DJI. Nobody wants to lose a third of their business. That's a big, I would disagree with that. But yes, we are irrelevant when it comes to the greater picture, meaning that are they going to survive or not? And the answer is yes. Will you be able to get parts? Yes, you'll probably have to, like I said, anything that's, an at issue. It says this is not just in the drone space where they control 69% of the global market, because there you go. And I think that validates what Kai was saying, is that the global market is big and we are only a part of a global market. But that's it. That's pretty much, let's see, while DJI products will not disappear from the market overnight, that's good to know. Adding DJI to the entity list will have impacts across the industry, i.e. supply once again, and make things expensive or more expensive. And that's really where I'm looking at. So let's look at one more thing. I'm just going to look and see. Let's see, drone hardware landscape. This is market sector right here, based upon, I think this is actually size related, how we relate to each other. China has a very large market of themselves. I mean, they're probably the biggest consumer of Chinese product is Chinese people. Let's see, anything else in here? Consumer and business. I'm just hitting the big components. Consumers and businesses should expect limited availability of all drones on the market anyway, especially high-priced ones. And that's what's happening right now with Autel. Heaven forbid Autel uses this opportunity to possibly get their product out when there's a lot of doubt going on. Now, how about cameras? What about all the other things that, oh man, I got to sneeze, that DJI produces? So, the 2020 Drone Rocket Report. Buy it if you want one, get one. So that's pretty much it. This article was written by, this is posted in Drone Industry Trends by David Benowitz. So I just want to make sure we give credit to where credit is due. And this is from Drone Analyst. So if you're interested, this is a very good periodical, something that you might want to keep in your back pocket if you want to know about what's going on. Now, my first Yellow Rose Drones, how you doing? Yeah, I got to run too. I'm Acaricio, how you doing? I'm just here for a minute, okay? One more minute more, and then I got to get back to what I do best, okay? And that's not do live streams last minute. This is the pricing of on eBay, and I'm just looking now. One of the things you might want to check very soon and checked often is availability of stuff. Okay, will the price of these drones go up? By the way, there is a new drone in town right here, the Mavic 3, but they have a version with 2 batteries. I wish they would have known that. I would have bought this one. I didn't. So now I'm going to have to buy this $200 battery, and it will cost me $150 more. So anyway, I thought you'd know that if you're interested in buying the Mavic 3, which I still suggest you do. It is not going to leave my possession anytime soon. $205. There's a deal right there. Last one. I should probably buy that. Here, actually, I'm going to put that in my cart. Add to cart. There you go. I'm not nervous, am I? What else do I got in there? Check out with 3 items. Anyway, guys, that is what I suggest you do. If you need that battery, get that battery sooner than later. Have a great day, guys. B&H just dropped all the new Autel products. That's dropped, meaning dropped out. I did not see Geeksvana. I didn't see anybody's posts at all. I saw this come up last night. I wanted to validate. I wanted to validate Kai Friedrichsen, Lone Star UAV's prediction of this to come. And I apologize, Kai, I couldn't be on last night, but I'm not going to be on tonight either. I'm probably not going to be on Friday as well. So I've got a big project going on. I've got that construction project, guys. It's still happening. Listed as discontinued. Thank you. So check out Lone Star UAV Tuesdays, guys. I will get on Lone Star's feed. I do want to get on there and hang out. FPV will probably have a little boost as well because of this. No more than what it already had. So, but anyway, yeah, check it out. Make sure, like I said, check out the this drone analyst report. It has a lot of good information. There'll probably be more to come. There'll be more videos to come. There'll be more, by the seat of their pants analysts like me. Coming as well. So, all right, I do have to go. But do check early and often about batteries. I am definitely ordering this battery right now, and I will now have a Mavic 3 with 2 batteries and all the software. So look at the price on them, guys. These batteries here, these mini batteries, freaking great deals right now. You can fly minis for days. So, all righty, have a great day. Keep up to date. That's what I suggest that all of you that you get on quickly. You just check, see what you need. If you are going to get the Mavic 3, I would get it sooner than later. And the prices are good. And I told you I suggest the model. Where's this one right here? This one, they call it the professional battery combo, where it comes with 2 batteries. It's just the regular model with 2 batteries. Should have came out with that first, but there you go. Take care. Hey, thanks, PD. Thanks, Susan Copeland, for dropping by. And Carisho, Lone Star. And anyone else, Hal 9000, thank you for popping in. He had some very good insights. Check that out. Ruth Randall, I do not. Yeah, I got some spamming, I think, going on there. So, anyway, we will have fun with those spammers, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we have some fun? Nah, let's forget it. Okay, all right, later. Have a good one. Bye. Thank you.